Good evening to all. We will now discuss and try to come to a decision on the most important factor to consider when we are choosing e-wallets. As we gravitate towards a world of digital payment and e-wallets nowadays, the most important factor to consider, in my opinion, is security standards. This is because users want to make sure that the payment system is licensed and secure. To instance, e-wallets use security protocols like two-factor authentication and one-time use PIN number, as we all know as OTP numbers. I'm sure that security standards will be the key factor when choosing an e-wallet. So, thus, I'm telling that this will be the best, the important factor when we are choosing e-wallet. What do you guys think about my opinion?
I think I do agree. I do agree, but I think that there are users who will consider the size of e-wallet and the number of transaction as an important factor when choosing an e-wallet. As you know, um, there are monthly and annual transaction limitation. There are no limits for some types of transaction like transportation, but there are for others. For example, Touch and Go. Their premium tire has an e-wallet size of 20,000 ringgit with an annual transaction limit of RM 300,000 ringgit. So a user will choose an e-wallet that suits his needs. What do you guys think? Uh,
Ish, I think both candidate B and A are right, but rewards are incentives. I think it I think is also a major factor to consider. Users would like to know how they can benefit by registering for an e-wallet. Some users are of the some users are of the mindset that it has to be a win-win situation. There are rewards and incentives to encourage them to frequently use the e-wallet.
That's true. That high security standard would be the most important factor when selecting an e-wallet. User will be looking for an e-wallet that is incredibly secure and offer a minimized risk of fraudulent activity compared to credit cards. Furthermore, if it can be tracked more reliably, it reduces more potential instance of fraud. Do you think this is most important factor to consider when choosing e-wallet?
I could not agree more. As a consumer, my first and foremost thoughts when choosing an e-wallet would be it is more safe and secure than cash, debit cards, or as candidate C mentioned just now, the credit cards. So, what do you guys think?
That is true, but wouldn't potential e-wallet users want to choose an e-wallet that is more commonly accepted? They would want an e-wallet that allows them to make payments at certain supermarkets, restaurants, or even utilities companies.
yes, you do have a valid point. This is true, especially for users who travel frequently. They would firstly want to make sure the e-wallet can be used for overseas transaction in order to ensure the benefit of convenience.
True. If an e-wallet cannot be used at any particular outlet, users would not hesitate to register for another one. However, if an appropriate security system and authentication mechanism are not in place, users will not have the confidence to use the e-wallet. Therefore, I think security standard is the most important factor when choosing an e-wallet.
Yes, candidacy has put forward an interesting point. In honesty, if we're to choose an e-wallet, the security protocol of the e-wallet would be a key factor of consideration. I can buy and make payments securely and conveniently. Kennedy, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, being able to use an e-wallet confidently, knowing that the security protocols are of high standards, is definitely a very important factor.
Okay. I think we are all in agreement that when choosing an e-wallet, the most important factor users consider is security standards. So this is because the e-wallet considers and without words. So if no one has anything more to say, we will bring this discussion to an end. So thank you all for your contribution and participation.